promise, hold on tight. Here comes Armageddon's bite. Candle burner, twist and turn. Feel the power as you learn. Jump rolls rising like the sun. Front press heavy, gotta run. Side pressure moves so fast. Fight for glory, make it last. Slash to the back, case the mass. Back pressure strong, never blast. Break on tension, feel the pain. Push through when it's in the vein. Hold your ground, don't give in. Feel the fire deep within. In the arena, battles rage. Strength and spirit, break the cage.
Bam. We're live.
Bang, we're live.
Yes.
Brian, we got to get a new picture for that intro, man.
I know. I do her up.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So, yeah, here with Clifton, Erickson, and John Therrien. These guys got a match coming up February 8th, the same time I have my next match. How are you guys feeling?
You can go first, John.
I'm feeling good. I went into nasty positions my last two super matches against Matt King and then a little bit with Brandon Alsalser as well. But surprisingly, my arms are in perfect shape. I have no pain. Obviously, I was sore for a week or two after, but nothing concerning. So I think I'll be ready.
Matt King looked at, yeah, you were in some weird positions on that one. But you pulled out some Hutchings shit, just side pressure. That was nice.
To be honest, Daniel Worley, I'm not going to lie, Daniel Worley is a master in the straps. And it's definitely no lie when people say that. He managed to burn my hand out completely. So when I got to Matt King, who has a very strong hand, I'm like, fuck, I can't even take a grip. So I'm flopping. I'm just flopping and hoping for the best.
You were doing some binding on the strap too. You were using the strap good for
for sure.
dragging. Yeah. It was good. I watched it again the other night, actually. That was a good match.
They just released the round robin on YouTube. Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
I watched it a couple times right in a row,
Yeah. Clifton, yourself, man?
Yeah.
Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty strong.
How's it? You're in North Dakota, right?
Yeah, the Dingleberry, Canada.
How's it down there in North Dakota right now? So how's the weather?
Snow, I don't know, negative, well, I don't know what it is in Celsius, but negative 20 Fahrenheit. So what's that?
Holy shit.
It's almost the same. Once it goes negative, Fahrenheit and Celsius even out pretty.
Yeah, we usually stay roughly as cold as, Alberta, stuff like that. Alberta gets a little colder. Edmonton,
we're minus 15 today in Alberta.
Yeah, that's cold. We barely have any snow here. It rained in between Christmas and New Year. It rained like every single day. So
when I moved from there, it was not like that, man.
No,
then I moved out here thinking I got the best weather, and now it's like tropical back there. It's like, fuck me.
It's true. The weather is definitely changing.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, rain for Christmas is not normal the way I live.
No. We used to get like 4 or 5 feet of snow when I was a kid there, man.
It wasn't cold enough for me yesterday. I did one of those one of these places here in town, got one of those cryo chambers.
Oh yeah.
Went it's a negative 127 degrees. I went in there for 3.5 minutes in my boxers. It was freaking cold.
Yeah.
Those cryo chambers are interesting for recovery and everything. Like when you research them and you actually look into the specifics behind them, like it's cool what it does to the body.
Yeah, I'm doing that and making sure I'm at all my joints and everything are pretty much no excuses on my end for John. I'm just starting on Monday doing red light therapy and then cryo chamber to get everything up and going. I've never done it. So I'm just like, hell with it. It was $100 to do unlimited until me and him ever match. So I was like, whatever.
Yeah, that's not bad really at all for unlimited.
Yep.
But no, yeah, that's gonna be exciting. I'm lucky. I get to commentate your guys' match too. So I'm actually really looking forward to it. I've been doing a lot of research on both you guys, just kind of your past and everything, and I think it's a fun match. I think obviously with the wins that John's had recently, he has to be the favorite, but I think it's a really fun opportunity for you, Clifton, in the same sense, because I feel like you almost can come in there with a I have nothing to lose, but like pressure's not really on me scenario. Because I know John really seizes the moment and he's a really great puller, but I think John's one of those guys where he's in that tricky scenario right now where you're right on the cusp of East versus West. and you're trying to get in there, and you're on the radar, and so you just got to keep kind of riding the train. So I think this match is really fun for both you guys.
Super active though, right?
Oh yeah.
So.
But I'm going to add to this. So a lot of people say I'm the high favorite, but you guys have to keep in mind the weight cap for this match is 220 pounds. My normal walk-in I'm 195 pounds right now, and I will not be that much heavier by the time I pull Clifton. So he can literally come in, cut down at 220 and be 225, 230 the next day. So if he does his stuff correctly, he can be a very big guy, very big opponent for me to tackle on. So, and style makes matches. Style makes matches. I'm not counting anyone out. I'm not taking anyone for granted. I'm coming in 100% ready to do my thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, completely fair enough. I guess to add on that, Clifton, is that your plan? Are you going to have to cut to 220, or are you kind of sitting there?
So my plan, so I've been doing this now. I talked with John. A lot of people don't know this, but I talked with John, a month after Jamie Sheldon. And I said, hey, I want this to happen. I know it's way out. See if you can keep it open and stuff like that. And he was nice enough to be able to hold that date open for me. So I've been training for this for 11 months. My plan was to bulk up to as big as I possibly could be, which I got to pretty much 235 pounds. And then I went to Florida December 24th here, so just recently. And for some reason, whenever I go on vacation, I lose weight because my eating schedule is off. So and then I sweat and stuff like that. So I knew if I did that and eat healthy, I could drop and drop. So as of 2 days ago, I'm 220 now. So in 10 days, I dropped 15 pounds. And then, so by the time that we get to the match, my goal is to same exact thing I did with Jamie. Jamie came in at like that 203 area around there. My thing with Jamie was to be as close as I could to be against him, to give him a match, but I don't want to be to where I'm going to drain myself. My biggest thing behind that is just because hypothetically, if I smash John, I don't want people saying, well, you weigh like fucking 20 pounds heavier.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter though. When you agree to a weight,
right.
I should have went and gained weight and beat 220. So when you both agree to a weight cap, there's no excuses. I'm not an excuse kind of guy. Win or lose, I'm going to be happy with whatever happens. So,
right. And so
I find that
my goal is when this tournament starts, I will be 215. That's what I want to be. If I feel like my strength and everything isn't losing before the tournament and I'm 215 already, I'll go down to 210. So I'm just going to keep on taking it 5 pounds at a time. I know at 215, my strength should be perfectly fine. I'm not going to, I mean, the first 20 pounds for me is all water weight. So it's like my strength is going to really lose. Once I get to that 215 part, go down to 210, then I'll have to play around and see where it's at. But as of right now, in my boxers, I'm 220.
Nice. Yeah. No, that's a good, especially if you're at a cap of that. Like, I think that's really good to be at right now. Like, gain and lose, but you just kind of sit and hover around there and kind of see what happens with it. I think that's always comfy. That's why I'm okay. Like, even when I come down and do these ones in Montana, I'm okay with a little bit higher weight cap than what I maybe sit around at, because if I do gain a little bit of weight, that's fine. I kind of check where I'm at. Like, for miles, I'm probably going to be checking my weight like pretty soon here. And if I'm still low, then I'm going to be gaining because I want to be as heavy as I can for him. But yeah. Yeah.
Well, at least you guys can do that. I can't. I mean, I'm just a fucking big fat fuck.
Well, Brian, you're just a big boy.
Yeah, I just say, you know what, weight. And every time I train, I just gain weight. Like, remember Chuck? He's like, "How much do you weigh?" I'm like, 265. I wasn't training. He's like, "Oh, great." And then I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna start training." Come in like 305. I'm like, "You like what happened?" I'm like, "I started training." Fuck. Came on.
Brian
makes you hungry.
Yeah, that's right. Makes you hungry.
Oh,
yeah.
it's crazy when you up the intensity and you have a match coming up and you're really dialed in. I notice that you just eat so much more. Yeah, your body just like goes into kind of like a mode where it needs to get more.
I'm doing that today because I got to pull Hugh tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be fun. But yeah, Brian, Chuck messaged me yesterday like a million times. He wants a match with me. I think it's funny.
He says he's 205.
Yeah, what the heck?
What is he? Skin and bones? Is this?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It can't be healthy if you like went to 205 that quick. I mean,
Yeah. And John, so you're pretty versatile polar, I would say. Like you kind of go anywhere. When you go into a match and you're preparing for one, do you really analyze your opponent and look for a style that you think is going to counter theirs the best, or do you just kind of see where like where it goes at the time?
So I do have a game plan when I come in, and then I can adjust from there. Like after the first round, most of the time it's pretty good. Like the way I know I'm going to pull him works, but sometimes I have to switch it up completely. Against Brandon, I knew his hand was his weak spot. His bicep was very fucking strong. So I knew I had to stay away from his press. So what I did, I used a lot of back pressure, just pulled basically his hand away from his shoulder. And then that worked for me. So I didn't really need to readjust in that match. But yeah, sometimes I do need to readjust for sure.
what did you find with the? Did you like the extra size in the pads? Did you notice it was a lot, gave you more room to work, or did it not even matter? Did you not even notice?
To be honest, I personally didn't see a difference. I'm not a guy that elbow fouls very often, unless I do it on purpose. So like, yeah, for me, it didn't really make a difference. I like the look of the table. The table looks freaking badass. It looks a lot more professional than a normal table.
Yeah.
Yeah, the height, everything's pretty much the same size and height.
The same.
What did you say, Clifton? Sorry.
Yes, it was down further.
Yeah, I was wondering if the pin lines are down further because it was 10 by 10, no pad. Theoretically, your pin line to pin somebody is up higher, right?
But yeah, no, the pads are sunken. Yeah.
So the pad where you're putting your elbows at the same height, the tabletop is like 3/4 inch higher, and then the pins are 3/4 inch shorter to compensate for the table being higher. So
I would definitely. When I watched that, I was like, I wouldn't have thought that they would have brought everything up level. So
no, they did a very good job with the table, and the cool thing about it is if you're a kings mover, which I really don't like seeing, you can't really kings move on that table just because the tabletop is elevated, and you can't. You'll just simply elbow foul because your forearm's going to touch the elevated table, and it makes your elbow come right up. So it's kind of I like it because I like kings move.
Yeah, I like how they went with the second gen of the table too, because when like Sean, Josh, and I were there on the Mac 1 and we pulled, it was the pad was just sunken in from the table, but I like the table being level and everything else being risen. I think that makes more sense, and I really like the look of the second one and the matches that I saw from what I watched. Like it made more sense.
Yes, it did. There was next to no elbow fouls. Like it ran shit. There was a shit ton of super match. Like there was like 40 super matches.
One guy had a problem. One guy had a bad problem. Yeah, I think he lost the match still on fouls. I was like, how is he fouling so bad? It was just one dude.
If you foul, you're really not strong enough, and you're just making your way out of the match by elbow fouling.
Yeah,
it's next to impossible.
Yeah, I was like, man, that guy sure found a way to foul, man. Like foul, off the back. But I think that sense where the edge of the pad is actually the end of the table. I think that's where it was coming. It was like all of a sudden he's at the back of the pad, but his elbow's flying off the table, right? I don't know, but I thought Brandon would have had an advantage on you with the extra pad room because he normally when he pulls he's all over the pad and he's pretty versatile in his movements. But I found him getting very like statically planted against you, and I don't know if that was just because you were so much back taking everything from him.
That was my goal behind it. So I basically just put so much pressure on top in the setup itself. It's a no load, so you can't load, but as soon as the go happened, I just
right back.
Yeah, it went right back. So it doesn't give him a chance to go sideways. Like he could have did something different. He could have just dive in his shoulder, dive in with his shoulder and get behind it. There's definitely things I could have done different too. He could have done different. But that day it worked out in my favor for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he got a pin on David Darikan, did he not?
No,
Or Samusha, not Therrien, sorry,
He got
Samusha.
he did
I
get
get them
around
all
on
mixed
Samusha.
up all the time.
I'm pretty sure he did not get a pin again. I think it ended 3-0 against Samusha,
Was
but he
it?
didn't
Did it?
look
I thought it was
bad.
3-1. I thought it was
I
3-1.
thought it was
It's
3-1, John. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
been a while. I'm not exactly
Yeah, I'm
sure.
pretty sure he did get one round. Yeah.
But I mean, the fact that he's even pulled him goes to show the level that you're at right now.
Yeah.
The way that you performed, like, was very impressive, I thought. And I'm very excited to see your match with Clifton, and then I'm excited to see what goes on after that, because I think you have a lot of great things coming.
Well,
Thank you, I
Clifton,
appreciate that.
yeah,
Yeah.
he pulled Jamie Sheldon, and you know what? I know Jamie is, not hasn't been as active, but I was really shocked in that match. And another
Yeah,
one was the way
I've pulled Jamie, and he's a very intelligent puller and very sharp
his
as well.
IQ.
He's
Yeah,
no
his IQ
no
is high.
slouch.
Yeah, and then Clifton pulled Ty a couple summers ago, and what Ty told me made me think very highly of Clifton. So
Yeah.
yeah, and Ty, you destroyed his elbow really good. Is what he told me. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Clifton, I still gotta beat you one day for that, just so you know.
yeah, one
It's
day.
it's inevitable. It's inevitable.
Yeah, it's been how long have you been pulling, John?
About almost 13 years.
Okay, so me and you are pretty close. Yeah, it'll be February, it'll be 15 years for me.
Okay.
Wow.
That's cool.
So back in the WAL, UAL era and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, it was
I wish I'd still be around. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Alex
it
says
was,
3-0.
this is gonna be an interesting match. I gotta ask, be honest, John.
Mhm.
Are you afraid at all? Do you think you have an area that you shouldn't go with me?
I'm never afraid. It doesn't matter. I could pull David Samusha tomorrow. I would not be afraid. I would just concentrate on where I need to go against him.
I guess afraid would be the wrong term. Concerned.
Yeah, and no concerns either. Like what I've done the past year is really work on my weaknesses. I used to be just inside polar. That's all I went, and then I trained my top roll, my riser, for a good year and a half. So my top roll now is my main move. If someone brings me in the hook, perfect. I like the hook too. And then I know how to press. I know how to bring someone to press. So I feel confident all around. Do you have more power? That's one thing I'll know when we do grip on the table and we start pulling. So I'm not worried, but I'm ready for whatever you want to bring to the table. So
You coming in the hook with me?
sure.
Yeah.
Top roll first round, the hook the second, then I'll press your ass the third.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh, that's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
That's
I
fun.
love it when it's called out. Yeah.
No, you guys can't wear each other out too much though, because I want to after pull both you guys. So it'd be a good time.
I won't be for me on my end, I won't be showboating or anything. It's so my biggest thing when it comes to arm wrestling is I am more of a mental puller. I've had friends and teammates and people throughout the years have seen when I'm on mentally and I can be the strongest and be awesome, and I can be the strongest and not be on mentally and get smacked by everybody. One thing that I feel like helped me for at least my mental issue with that whole thing is being able to train for John for 11 months. I mean, that's literally been embedded in my head. That's all I do. I mean, you guys know Dakota, Brian, all you guys. I mean, I even did it for John himself. I post all of my shit that I do, all of my PRs, everything I'm doing to where I'm like, okay, I'm excelling. I post everything just so that everybody can see where I'm going, because I'm not hiding anything,
Mika, stop barking.
But it's I don't know. I feel like this is definitely, I mean, if we go like all of my lifts, including like my riser, my cupping, everything like that, especially anything that's wrist down, I'm between about 40 to 45 pounds, probably heavier than what I was at when I was with Jamie. And then riser and cupping is really good. But if we go riser pronation, that I'm about 20 pounds, probably heavier, roughly around there. So I definitely was like, because as soon as I went to Jamie, I knew for a fact, I was like, okay, I got to worry about his hand. Same thing with John. That's why I got to worry about everybody. Okay, I got to worry about the hand a little bit. Once after that match was done, did the same thing like what John was saying, where he decided to train riser for a year. I kind of did the same thing. I was like, well, I got to train being up high, doing stuff like that, coming low, practicing in the ref's grip, everything. So you're going to get my all-time best. This is hands down. I have not been any weaker at any point. You're getting everything, buddy. That's
awesome. That's what I want. That's what I want.
No, that's super exciting. I gotta ask, Clifton, I know you do a lot of strength related lifts, but if it does get deadlocked, how do you feel endurance wise with a guy like John, who we've seen pull and get in these positions where he can hold and he can work? Like, how do you feel about your endurance?
I feel like I'm pretty good with endurance. I mean, when we go to like practices and stuff, so most of the time when I do practices, I'll do like an ankle bracelet, or not ankle strap.
Yeah.
I'll hook it onto my wrist, pull over, and that's how I usually arm wrestle people. When I want to work on my rise in my hand and stuff like that, I'll put a strap through my hand, hook it up to the pulley system, pull weight over, and then arm wrestle people. So I'm usually always connected to weight to be able to keep on making everything equal to where I'm not always the strongest and pulling everybody over. So with that being said, I'm always at the table more. I mean, throughout a night, shoot, I'm probably at the table out of a 3-hour night is our average night. I'm probably on the table at least an hour and 45 minutes of the night myself. I mean, so I feel like my endurance is good. Now, with me, when I was getting bigger and stuff like that, trying to bulk before I cut, lactic acid was sucky. It sucked. But now that I dropped actually down to 220 to where it's more, I feel more comfortable. Now I don't really have any lactic acid buildup, and so I feel pretty good. I feel like the thing with John and I, to be completely honest, I feel like it's not. I know a lot of people say it's going to be a grinder, but I don't personally think it's going to be a grinder. I feel like he's either going to pin me or I'm going to pin him, and it's either going to be like this. I don't see it being a grinder.
Well, the second round, we're going to hook. So the second round will be a grinder before I pin you, and then the third one will be fast.
Fast press.
Yes.
It happens though when you go into the hook and you realize you've been stonewalled more than you ever have before. And I know I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody from North
Oh,
Dakota.
you're not a nobody, Clifton. Don't play this card. You play this card every time we do this show, man. You're like, oh, I'm just a nobody. I'm just, yeah, we
John,
know who you are.
have you ever heard of me?
Yeah, I heard
Yes, you beat Jamie Sheldon. Anyone that beats Jamie Sheldon is not considered a nobody. So yeah, you can't play that card anymore, but you can't.
Yeah, I can tell you how I see it. I honestly see if John is able to get Clifton's hand and take everything, Clifton's in a lot of problems. He's going to have a lot of problems. If Clifton can retain some of his pronation with John, John's going to have a war. And that's just from what I see out of both of you guys. And then like it could be a blowout either way, but I really think, John has to take everything away from Clifton. Or it's going to be a tough match. It's going to be a really good.
I'm not going to lie. I prefer pulling in long matches that I need to do everything.
Yeah. We prefer watching them too. So
yeah,
it's awesome.
Some people like winning easy. I did not. It's like, fuck, this sucked.
Yeah, you win a lot, but you seem to get your money's worth out of it. It's
no, exactly.
For sure.
That's why you'll see me, even if I struggle, I'll still look at the crowd and smile. It's not because I'm being cocky or I have it easy. It's just because I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I like the Frodo match that you had. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that's already 3 years ago. That's crazy.
I know. Is it that long already?
Yeah.
Wow.
3 years.
Time flies. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing too that is like, I get a lot of people messaging me. They're always like, well, you're always doing side pressure or cupping and stuff like that. So I always train rise and pronation, but I had this conversation with actually Dakota before on one of the times on the shows. I don't train pronation and rise to take hand. That's not my thing. My stuff that I train for is I am always just training to neutralize. I never train to take your hand. I never train to completely take you away. I want to stop I train to stop your pronation. I train to stop your rise.
You should train both, to be honest. You should train every angle. Once the one angle, like I know what you're saying, neutralize, but once that's trained up and you're sore there, then go in a different angle. That's how you get your hand, your wrist gets strong all the way around. Because
Right.
in arm wrestling, you see a newer guy will be very good in one angle, but then he doesn't train the other angle, leaves it wide open. So an intelligent polar will be able to find that out, that you feel a weakness there, then he'll attack there. So that's why, like, people laugh at me because I do not go to the gym, but I spend a lot of time on the table. Like, hey, I pulled with my team, we pull 2-3 times a week. And it's not just go to practice and kill the other guy. We literally practice where we're weak, where we want to get stronger. And that's what I try to get people to do. Do not just go to practice to be like in the tournament to crush people. You want to practice. That's what practice is for.
But I'm
And
still, but
I
those
agree.
are my weak points. That's the thing. I don't just do the full wrong because I feel like as long as I'm neutralizing you, I've done it numerous times. As long as I can neutralize you, I can go into my area, you know?
But I think what John's saying is you might be able to neutralize him at one angle, but if John attacks you at a different angle that you're maybe not working on, can you neutralize him at that other angle that he's attacking? And that's why John's saying to work all the angles, because you might neutralize him at one point, but then if John changes his angle of pronation and you don't have your neutralizer built up at that certain angle, it could cause a detriment to you later on in the match, I think is what he's saying.
I
And
agree.
I've learned, and the reason I'm saying that, and the reason I train like that, it's because I got caught in the past by different angles. I've pulled some very smart pullers, and yeah, I had to start training everywhere because like I was very good. I was very good at neutralizing or attacking, but then my weakness was over here.
Yeah.
It hit right in my knuckles.
Yeah.
So then now I'm very strong at that point. You cannot get me hitting my.
So what did you do to
the
train that, John?
So basically, like in practice, I'll have someone gripping, and then I'll put a band and hit with the band. Someone's going to pull on the band the
Yeah.
exact direction where I'm weak. So
Mhm.
then you keep getting your ass busted at that angle. You have no choice to start being strong at that
Yeah.
location.
No, I like that because I feel like that's a weak point for me as well.
Well, that's why losses mean a lot too, right? Like the losses that we do have, if we capitalize on them, they could be the best things for us, right? Because
Yes.
they identify our weaknesses, right? So
That's very true.
Tell me if-
100%. Now I got to ask one question. Sean asked in the chat, did you guys put up any of your own money for this match? No?
No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, just wondering. It's like been the trend
I'm
lately.
too.
Yeah, it's been the
I'm
trend
too-
lately. Yeah.
I'm too poor to put my own money.
Oh, I hear
I
you.
work my
I
ass off.
think there'll be
because-
money thrown in there though, from what
Sure.
Josh Wilson's been telling me about how they normally have them. It seems like there's some cash that gets thrown on the table for most matches. So
Yeah, there's usually quite a bit.
Yeah.
The M Spot called you Mustachio Man.
me,
Yes,
yeah.
Mustachio Man. That's gonna
His,
be your
his
nickname.
arm wrestling nickname should be the porn star for sure.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
should not.
the dirty.
I'm actually,
stash.
you can see I'm slowly getting the handles
Oh,
going.
are ya?
It's working
Oh.
its way down. Yeah. So
Oh,
Sean had a really fun nickname for me actually. We'll see if he comments it. I liked it, but I forget what it was now.
oh, okay.
It wasn't
But-
that good, obviously.
Well, I just don't remember lots.
Yeah, we had this thing where we wanted people to nickname us. Yeah, but I think
That was
yours
fun
gonna-
though. We had little giveaways going on and
Yeah,
stuff.
but no
That
one
was-
really. Yeah, I didn't get one though that stuck. So I'll get one eventually.
Yeah.
Hey, question for Clifton. How do you feel going into this match? How's your confidence?
So I'm not an arrogant individual. I try to be pretty humble. I hate being overconfident because usually overconfidence, there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. So
Yeah, there is.
I give myself personally the exact same thing that I gave Jamie Sheldon, which was I give myself 45%. And I am there I do it a match at a time. So if I beat you the first match, awesome, but the game isn't over yet. So just take one match at a time. That's it.
No, that's true.
I feel the biggest thing with you is that I feel worried about the hand, which, like I said, that's usually what I'm worried about with people. I have ways around to get to arm wrestle without the hand, or been practicing with, getting better at it, of course, but that would be it. I just would be your hand. That's what's gonna bother me. I know you have a thick hand. I've never gripped up with you, but watching videos, you know, talking around.
Baby hand.
Yeah. I got baby hands. I got like, so that's what sucks with me, is that my hands are so small that I have to get them that much stronger in order to be able to hold with people. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty pumped. I think that I'm going to be more of a trouble than what you think, personally. I was extremely worried about when you had to go against, or when you beat Brandon Elsesser, until I seen the match, and my worrisome actually went away completely after seeing the match. I applaud you for beating Brandon. Of course, that's a huge freaking win. It's just what was done on both sides didn't really bother me per se. So, which was good. Now your stuff that you did with, there was some stuff in there that looks a little bit troublesome. Eli, that match that you had, that in my eyes was a really good match to watch, just because of showing your versatility of what you can do. I really like that match. The Robbie
Against who, sorry?
Huh?
Against who, sorry? Eli?
Isn't that, what was his name?
Is
The one you round
Sadov or-
robin? That 4-round, the one in Florida?
Oh, Daniel Worley and Matt King.
Yeah,
Matt King, that's what it is. Him. That guy's hand, like, for you to be able to do what you did there, that I thought showed a lot of versatility. Same thing when I go back and I watch your Robbie Russell match when you beat Robbie. That shows a lot of versatility. So stuff like that is what worries me more than what I seen with the Brandon Elsesser.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I think, not to be the arrogant person, but I think that I'm going to be a lot more trouble than what you think, especially if I get into any of my lanes.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Well,
You have to feel. You guys have to feel Matt King's head. I'm not gonna lie. Matt
Oh,
King's
he's
head.
crazy.
I know
I
his
gripped
hand's
up with him in
crazy.
Florida, man. That was the last time I saw you, John, I think, was in Florida.
Yeah.
Not when you pulled Matt, but yeah, he's got a crazy hand. And he
It's
does all
crazy.
that climbing and stuff and everything too. And
You beat him
he can
without
really-
your hand, so that was pretty damn impressive. I mean, I really liked. I could tell you were getting bound in on that strap, and you just said "fuck it" and just went straight sideways. I love it.
I didn't even
Hutchings
try to
shit.
take
That's
it.
Hutchings shit, like next level. I love it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, I hate to be that guy, but we change this time because I do gotta go to my grandma's birthday.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
before I go, I do gotta ask what your guys' prediction is for the match. I think it's best of 5, so first to 3. So whatever you guys think, I want to hear whoever goes first.
I'll be happy with a 1-3. Him winning. I just want one win.
He's at least going to get a pin on me. I think he's going to get a pin. He's going to get in his lane, but then I'll be able to rethink my strategy for the next round. So
you might agree on 3-1.
I don't think it's going to be an easy match. It's going to be a very hard match, and I'll have to put everything I know to be able to win this.
All right, boys. Well, I just wanted to say that's awesome. And we'll have to get you guys back on sometime for sure. Clifton, I know you want to come on and talk about my match sometime, so we'll definitely have to do that.
Now you're winning easy, Dakota.
I hope so, man. I sure hope so. I got a tough task, but I'm really excited for it. So I've been training.
You have to stash to crush him. You're good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
The stash power, it'll get better and better. Don't worry.
There you go.
All right, guys.
Good one,
Enjoy the
Miles.
rest of the show. Take care. Thanks again. Take care, Brian.
See you,
See you
brother.
guys later.
Okay, buddy. Yeah, well, if
Glad
there's
you're not
anything
taking
else-
me at least lightly, John.
What's that, sir?
I said, I'm glad you're not taking me lightly.
I don't take anyone lightly. You can ask my wife. Doesn't matter who it's against. I'll always not get scared, but I'll get nervous. Doesn't matter who. Every time I get to the table before the first round, I'm always nervous. And then after the first round, then I'm good. Then I calm everything right down, and then I can concentrate from there. But yeah, it doesn't matter who you are. Sometimes against people I go against, I don't even look them up first. I just go in and do my thing. Yeah. So
Well, I'm curious of a few things. You guys, There's a couple other big matches on that card too.
Mhm.
Probably Clifton would know him better. What do you think Leif's chances are against Jordan?
It depends on
Has a
what
chance.
Jordan shows up. All depends on what Sill shows up, honestly. I mean, you've seen Jordan Sill beat beat a lot of big names, and then you'll see him in other tournaments and he'll lose to somebody who's not as high, you know, or somebody that he's smashed before.
Have you pulled him personally?
Have I ever gripped up with him? No, I've been at numerous tournaments when he's pulling, watching him pull and stuff like that, and we're just
I've
watching,
watched him a lot.
analyzing his style and stuff in person. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be. It's one of those things that it's kind of like with me and John, and that's kind of what I told Leaf and Joe both, because they both go against him left and right. Is yes, of course, everyone wants to go to a match thinking they're going to sweep it 3-0. But in circumstances like me, them, just worry about one match. One win will put you in a different realm if you can beat the right people. If I could get one win on John, that'll put me up. My credentials go up higher. Just one. That's all I need. So same thing there. So that's kind of what I've been telling them. I've said, you know, tell them to go as hard as you can, go for everything, but don't be pissed off if you get only one win. Like that's a good accomplishment. You know,
Yeah, I talked.
Who is Jordan pulling, sir?
Leaf Sorensen left hand or right, Leaf Sorensen right-handed and Joe Fear left-handed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not too familiar with the other guys.
They're strong. Joe's an up and comer for sure too. But you know,
Yeah,
Leif, is it Leif or Leif? Do I call him wrong all the
I
time?
always say Leaf. It could be Leif.
I think
They're
it's
both
Leif.
good guys.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good dude.
Well, they oh sorry. They were going to match me up against him, so that's why I was kind of curious. Plus, I watched him pull. I know he was Chuck's training partner and stuff. And actually, I'm pretty impressed with him. I gave him the same advice pretty much. I think that Jordan, if he takes everything like I think he might with his hand, Leif is in a lot of trouble. But if he can keep his hand somewhat neutral where he's able to drive, he's got a chance against Jordan. That's kind of what I see. But Jordan might just be too much in the hand, right? So,
and I think with both those guys, I think they both need to stay out of the straps with Jordan. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because he'll know how to bind that strap. I like the straps too, because it takes away some of my weaknesses out of the strap. Because
100%. I mean, I remember going through the Jamie Sheldon stuff and seeing John message, you know, talking about it because it kept going to the straps. I didn't want it to go to the straps, John, at all. I didn't want the straps, but it kept going there because I kept getting busted back like this.
yeah.
But the thing is, the straps, you know, especially if you get strong there, it eliminates part of the wrist power you have to use. I mean,
if you have
in
good
the straps, it's a
pressure.
totally different. It's
exactly.
totally different techniques.
Yeah.
A lot of
It changes
leverages,
the
a lot of pivoting points to
Not
where
even the same at all. Yeah, I like to just soon as I feel, I try to find an angle where I get that bind on the strap on them. Soon as I feel that, it's yes. You know what I mean? Unless they're just up like way stronger than me, you know what I mean? But other than that, that's soon as I feel that bind on that strap, I don't care about my hand anymore. I basically am just the power is gonna go right into that strap, right? So
right.
you know, I like the strap pulling myself, but I think pulling on the strap's important too, because there's guys that are gonna flash you maybe, or there's gonna be speed factors, there's gonna be trickery. There's some guys that are good at holding on, which I don't, you know, it's kind of not what you want to do, but some guys make it work still, right? So you see your guys' match going to straps pretty easily.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll let
Go
John.
ahead.
Sorry, I'll let you.
I sometimes do not want to go into straps, but it always lands the match. When you get to higher guys that pulls, most often the match ends up in the straps. And that's one thing I'll just add to that. Mac, the rules, I like how it's over strap. You slip once, no screw around, you just turn back in the straps.
Yeah. Yeah, it never goes back. It always stays straps after that. Right?
Every round?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Once it goes straps, it stays straps. And I think you have an option in the beginning too. But if you choose straps, you got to do straps the whole match.
Yeah, but if you both agree, even anywhere, you both
Yeah.
agree to just starting the strap to cut the bullshit.
Yeah.
Don't let you pull in the straps.
Yeah. I got one question. Did the because like Ian was mad at me just for one of my comments. Because I tried to do a live commentary on it, but
Mhm.
I was noticing like now it was just me, but it did seem like with the palms so close together, it did seem like the matches were still starting a little bit carved in. And did it seem to, if you were a hooker, would it favor you as a hooker? Or did you think it was even where a guy, if he's a top roller, he could have been straight and went top roll?
So it's more of a relaxed kind of rules. So
Yeah.
it could favor, if you know how to pull, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But
I was
like,
just
so
watching.
instead of starting like your wrist almost bent backwards, so straight that it's almost
Yeah.
backwards, you're
Yeah.
allowed to put a little tiny, like this, like it's a slight little
So
angle, which
yeah.
yeah, exactly. So they're not too strict on that. Like obviously you can't start with a curve in your wrist like that, but you're allowed to be comfortable.
What about this way though? See, the
They
one thing I was
adjust
noticing
that.
is it was with it pushed in, it seemed like it was a little bit like just a little bit like this, right? Where like when I pull, I like to be more straight and with my pronation active, but that might be really hard in that setup. I don't know.
But see that part, if you're on the table, you could fight with it. It's not part of
Yeah,
the
okay.
rules.
So it
Like
was playable.
they
Yeah.
straighten it out. You could
Okay.
talk to ref, choose start straighter. Same
Okay.
thing for the shoulder. Like in those rows of shoulders, obviously you can't be right out,
Mhm.
but like they won't make you square
Yeah,
up
I
to
know
the
you mean.
fact
Not
that
like
you feel like
this.
you're dying.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
exactly. So like you can be relaxed, a natural body
Yeah.
position. Like this
Yep.
is natural to start.
Okay.
This in the normal tournament is I find sometimes it's kind of ridiculous the way how they push you up
I don't
so
like that.
much.
I don't like
No,
that. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. No, I was just curious because we've seen it a little different on the screen than what you guys felt and what witnessed being there doing it. It just was like and not only that, he did point out that 80% of the pullers were hookers. So I was like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, so it makes sense too, right? Yeah.
But it's not only the hookers at once. So
Yeah,
I
it's
think
true.
it's a very fair set of rules for everyone. I didn't, to be honest, it's one of the only events I've been to that I didn't hear any excuses after.
Mhm.
Um, all the matches ended. There was a lot of 3-0 even.
There
No one
was.
bitched about the rules set. No one bitched about the refs did something wrong.
Mhm.
It's one of the only times I did not hear any excuses.
Well, you guys would know best. Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
Well, and a lot of the time too, if you do see your hand being like this,
Yeah, I don't
also
like
to
it.
pay attention, does this guy have the buckle? A lot of the time, tightening down is gonna get you here, and they'll still square you up, but you might be seeing mainly that they're tightening down, puts you here, then they square you to your position.
I don't
You know?
mind that because see, if I got the buckle, I just kind of grab everything, and then when they come up and square us, I got everything, right? But if it's like a ref's grip in the strap, well, then that's different, right? Or a set grip, I should say, right? Because I think it was all set grips, wasn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no load set grips.
Yeah.
So again, no bullshit. That's their goal behind this league is no bullshit. They just want it's more attractive for the viewers, the general public, to watch a match with no screw around. Like
I know what you mean, like 10 minutes
more
of fucking around.
exactly. Like it gets long and boring. Like you just want to see something happening.
That's right.
And
it speeds it up. Yeah.
there's less fouls too. The matches again, there's going to be more 3-0 finishes because it's the stronger person will win. It won't. The weaker person won't be able to foul out to get a more.
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Could
that's why
make the
there's more
match more equal.
3-0s. That's why there's more 3-0s too, I think. Because
Because
it
it
just
will
kind of
finish
that's right.
because
Yeah.
there's no fouls, so you can't get away with it. Oh, I fouled, that's why I lost. No, the stronger person will win in that setup.
It kind of makes it so the stronger person does win. Where a lot of I mean, there's a fine definition about what makes you a good puller, right? Whether it's your strengths or whatever, or if it's your ability to know the rules and play the rules too, right? So we all know as arm wrestlers, we take the rule set and we get as much as we can out of the rule set, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and but I mean,
a
I'm
good
sure
puller will be good with those two combined.
yeah, and if you pulled, if guys got more used to it and pulled MAC rules more often, I'm sure they would get accustomed to it and definitely it would. Yeah. Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. No. I wanted to hear it from somebody that actually pulled on it in a match,
Yeah, for
right?
sure. It was my first time pulling on it. I'd never practiced on that table. I've never pulled on that table, so I was kind of scared at first coming in because I'm going against
And Brandon has a table in
the.
his club too. Yeah. So I
I know
thought he would have.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but to be honest, table didn't.
Didn't
I
change.
didn't even feel like I was on a different table. The role said it was more relaxed, which was nicer.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, I heard a lot of people saying that would favorite hookers, but
Well, that's what it looked like
I
from what.
top rolled and I didn't have any.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
find it any different.
Yeah.
Just fair.
Okay. Yeah. I was one of those guys that said that, but like
Mhm.
I said, I'm watching it through a screen. You know, I'm not up close. I'm watching it from a screen, and it just seemed like, but at the same time, Ian did say in the beginning, if the guy, as long as if it ends up a little bit like this and both guys are happy, who cares, right?
Yeah,
And
no, exactly.
exactly,
It's their fault.
and
It's their own
yeah,
fault.
yeah, exactly. So, well, it's good to know. No, I support Ian, and I think the tables are awesome. So,
Yeah, they
that's
look
why-
awesome. They look awesome.
yeah, you know what? Like, who cares? It's new and everything, and I know there was some haters at first, but anybody doing anything for our sport, like, kudos to them, man. Like, if
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
different, who cares? You know what I mean? It's still building arm wrestling, right?
Oh, exactly. And Ian, well, there's more to Mag than just Ian, but
Yes.
Ian is the
Yes.
mastermind behind
JJ
it.
in the
And-
board, and yeah.
And he's just a very fair person. He's all about helping the athletes too. Like obviously they have to keep some funds to have more events, but like he takes care of the pollers, which I really respect. I think they're going to be a league that's going to be around for a long time because they're not all about themselves and profit. So I think they're going to go do
gonna
good
go
things for
places.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually going to try to be on Mac 3. I want to pull tiny. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It would. It would. Yeah, I was supposed to this one, but the date and my wife didn't really want me going at Christmas time traveling down there.
Yeah, it was a weird time for sure. It was only a few hours from
Yeah, for sure.
it was
for sure.
It was 6 hour drive because there was a snowstorm on the way there.
Oh,
But
yeah,
yeah.
top it off too, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, listen, I don't know, boys. I think your match is gonna be fire, man. I'm looking forward to it, and I appreciate you guys coming on. I love talking to you guys, and yeah, man, just fucking looking forward to a banger.
Well, then
I'm looking forward to pull you, Clifton.
yeah, you too, buddy. Yeah, and this tournament, it's gonna be production, I think, and this is gonna be Robert Kelly, the guy who just did
Red Lightning.
did Levon and Jerry, and then he did the couple of the other East versus West. So it should be decent production.
Yes, Robert's very good at it.
Yeah. Some of the stuff you've seen, it looked pretty good.
Oh, okay. You know what? Seeing that we're still talking about it. So Sandris and RVJ, what do you think? You think RVJ's biting off a little too much, or what?
I think so.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
It's very hard to.
It's hard to say if he's been
like
training
Jordan
hard
Sill,
since Nugo. Yeah.
Like Jordan Sill, we don't know in what condition and shape they'll be coming in. If he comes in as the RVJ that we know he can be,
Then he'd be something.
Nothing's impossible. But if he comes in to relax, well, Sandris is definitely a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Are they pulling left hand?
Right.
Right hand?
Yeah, and the thing is see that I was hard on RVJ with Nugo. I made a comment, RVJ, you either get on TRT, buddy, or just retire, because he just had nothing. He had no fun. Yeah, you remember Nugo though? It was just like he had nothing, like no RVJ when he's like, bro, he's doing this shit with his hands and everything. That's when RVJ is fucking crazy, right? But he just didn't have any. He had no fire. He was just like this. Oh, that sucked. Oh, that sucked. And it's like, listen, and now you're taking a match with Sandris. So I just hope that RVJ trained hard, and I'm a big fan of RVJ's, and I hope it could be an amazing match, man. But I just hope that, I hope after Nugo he said, no, I have to train. I can't just use natural couch skills. I need to really try hard. So hopefully he does, and because I'm looking forward to the match, and I'd love to see RVJ pull out the win. But
I'm a very big fan of him too, and one day I need to gain weight so I can go pull him.
Fuck yeah,
and crush him.
Yeah, that's it.
I gotta be a fan of RVJ. He stuck up for me when right before I was going against Jamie, we were on a thing. He remembered me back in 2015 in Vegas at WAL, where I did really well. And everybody was pretty much talking shit about me in the podcast and the reel until he was like, well, Cliff was steamrolling people that had no clue who he was and made a statement way then. So I wouldn't take him lightly. And then all of a sudden the conversation and the reel started changing. So I was like, well,
Nice.
I appreciate that. That's kind of nice. Somebody's got my back.
So
That's a
let me
tough one.
translate that for Clifton. So he was like, "Fuck you all. Thank you for finally understanding. Don't talk shit about me,
Thank
you
you.
fucking pricks." So that's what he tries to
Yeah.
tell you guys.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what
It's
it
a
was.
tough one. It's a tough one because RVJ, I'm actually a big fan. I've been watching them from, I've watched them back to like early 2000s, right? But Sanders was my training and strength and conditioning coach for a long time. So I'm kind of like a little bit neutral. But I mean, listen, RVJ coming out being a madman, I support that all day. And if that's the case, good for him, man. That's what I want.
It's also how he comes in mentally. If he's mentally prepared for the match and feels confident, he's going to be there. But if he comes in being worried, I think the mind game when it comes to RVJ matters a lot in matches. Like you said, when he pulled the other guy, he didn't feel comfortable. He didn't feel confident, and I think that played a big role because I think RVJ's strength was right there. If he would have had more pep and more aggressiveness,
that's what I say. I think too. That's the only thing he was missing. That was it.
It could have switched the match completely. So
yeah,
I think I'm not cutting him out. I think it could be very interesting depending on how he comes in.
Now I do have to say too on this, just so everybody knows here, Josh Wilson, I appreciate him for making all of this stuff. Like, I feel like this is one of the best super match series for the last 3 years around. I mean, that's close to us. I mean, within the vicinity. So I mean, without him doing this, it wouldn't be possible. So I'd give
it's a huge event, big card, man.
That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. Yeah, huge respect to Josh too. Any promoters, honestly, they have so much work to do behind the scene, and I appreciate every single one of them.
Yeah, without them, John's going to be pretty much just sitting at home wishing that he was going to beat me, but
I know exactly.
Well, how long of a flight is it, John? So it's not that long, like 5 hours, 4.5 hour flight.
I'm actually gonna fly to Alberta.
Are you gonna fly into Calgary here, where I am?
Yeah, because if I fly from Toronto to straight to Great Falls, it's like $1,500. Well, it's like $1,500 Canadian.
Oh, and it's like a few hundred to Calgary.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's about 600. My wife's coming too, so for the both of us, it's like 1,200.
So you're gonna rent a car here? Are you renting a car in Calgary and then driving over?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
That's like isn't that still from Calgary? That's still like a 9-hour drive.
4 hours? No, 4. No,
Yeah,
it's
4
5, 6 hours actually.
Is
Where's
it?
it? Billings? Is it in Billings?
It's 4 hours.
No, it'll be Great Falls. So closer.
Is it in Great Falls?
Yeah, then it's closer.
Is it Great Falls?
Yep.
Yeah, it's only. Is it at the is it where I pulled at Armageddon?
Yes.
At the stadium, or what is that?
Yep.
What it's called?
Well, it'll be in the same town. Yep.
Oh well, then it's like a 4.5 hour drive, man, from Calgary.
Yeah, exactly. So 4 hours and 32 minutes. So it's
man.
To save $2,000, I'll definitely drive 4 hours.
See, it sucks. I'm going there the following weekend, but can't go there 2 weekends in a row. Fuck that.
You might as well.
I know I could.
You just got to talk about how close it is. Come on.
4.5 hours. I could maybe. We'll see. Fuck it. Maybe I'll just show up. Fuck it. Yeah. Fuck, that'd be good.
Bring Dale.
Yeah, Deadly Dale. I'll bring him. Yeah. Now he's going. He's in Hinton at Battle Zone February 21st. And actually, I had a match in Battle Zone, but it didn't get confirmed. So I ended up having to take a match in Montana February 14th in what is it, Hannah? Is it Hannah, Montana? Helena. Yeah. Apparently there's an event on the 14th. It's going to be.
So you're pulling Hannah, Montana? What's up with that?
yeah, I know. Get my ass whooped by Hannah, Montana. Shit.
Lucky guy.
Yeah, no, that's the other production. That's the M Spot and Red Leg Studios. So, but everybody's good to me in Montana. So I love all you guys. I actually love anybody in arm wrestling. I love you all. So fuck whatever. We're all brothers and sisters. So, but
who do you train with, Brad?
I train with Matt Mask. He's my I'm a Red Deer Club guy.
Okay.
We got a pretty good club overall.
Mhm.
I'm trying to, what I'd like to do is start getting us all to start traveling and getting our names out there too. Like, even Matt said, like, we were supposed to go to Atlantic City, and we should have, because you know what, we got to start. We got killers. We're called the Red Deer Killers, and you know we got a good club, man.
I honestly wish, I've been telling this, but there's so many good Canadian polars
I know.
that are just a waste of freaking.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just a waste. They don't travel. They don't get out there and showcase themselves.
They don't realize that their level is better than they think. They think because we
Yes.
get confined that we can't compete with, anywhere
Mhm.
else. And I thought the same thing. I was very low on myself. And then Sean Crowther, he's a teammate of mine.
Mhm.
He's like, Brian, you're a lot better than you think, man. So like, because of him and Matt and that, I took that match in Montana, and I'm like, well, I don't know if I can beat one of these American boys, you know what I mean? So I went down there and I crushed him, right? So I was like, fuck yeah. So then now my confidence, I'm just like, no, man, it doesn't matter where you go, man. You know what? Just pull hard and you got a shot, right? And I
And I
want
find
more. Yeah, I
you
just
go
want
ahead.
more of our guys to go. Like, you're
Yeah,
right.
no, exactly.
Even you, like, what happens if you didn't do the Savage Church, or you didn't do what you've been doing, investing in what you're doing? No one
So
who
for
know who the
me,
fuck you are.
no, for me, it all started when I went to Michigan State. So I just decided, shit, I'll go to Michigan State. I want to get a gorilla. And then I was 176 pounds back then. And I beat the 7th place North American guy at 176. And that's where people were like, oh, fuck, like,
Yeah.
he's not that bad. And then I went to the Savage Search. I went to Arm Wars. Then it accumulated from there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of guys. Just an example in your area. There's Mason Georges. Everyone, they're like, oh, I want John to pull him. I want John to pull him. But in my mind, I'm like, that's all what the guys in Canada want to do. They want to pull each other.
Yeah.
Just cross the fucking border.
Yeah.
Way closer, first off.
Yeah.
And they can go get themselves in the rankings. Mason should be in the 198 rankings for sure. And there's a lot of guys,
yeah.
a lot of guys from Ontario that should be up there too.
Yeah.
For a good example, one of my fellow teammates in Sudbury, Bad Brad Wade, they call him. He's won nationals multiple times. When that guy's ready at 154s, I put him easily top 3 North America 154s.
Yeah, but
But
no
he
one knows
just
him
hasn't-
because he doesn't.
He
Right?
doesn't travel yet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've been telling him to start doing that, because I'll kick his ass. So maybe it'll work.
No, you bring up, you know what, that point, John, honestly, that, like, we have so many, like, people talk about, we did the City Slickers event in Montana, and they're like, oh, because they got a couple wins on us. Oh, we just killed Canada. And it's like, no, you didn't. You don't even know. Like, my buddy Dale's been pulling for 20 years. No one knew who he was. He goes to the States with us. Now he's known as Deadly Dale, and he beat, like, and apparently he beat Niles Anderson. Niles is no joke, man. Niles is a beast, and he crushed Niles. Well, no, it was a war. It was 3-0. It was a war. It was a hook war, but he still, like, now people know who Dale is because of one match. You know what I mean? Because he traveled to the States, right?
Yeah, I also pulled Niles when I was starting to go to the States. When I went to a tournament in Ohio.
Yep, he's from Ohio. Yeah, he's Todd Hutchings' training partner. Yeah.
Okay, right on. But yeah, I went to Ohio and I pulled him during a tournament. I beat him too that day. But like, you don't need to travel across Canada to go pull someone. It's not even going to make a difference. Your name's not going to stand out more. You can literally just cross the border. For you guys, you can cross to Washington. Even Vegas is not even that far.
No.
For people this way, Ontario, New York's right there.
Buffalo,
Michigan, like all these places.
Yeah.
And it's new hands and new guys, and there's a lot more talk with arm wrestling in the States compared to going to local.
Yeah, why are we focusing each other anyway? Why don't we just, gang up and go down there? Yeah.
That's what I've been trying to say.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Ali is one guy that always wants to pull Canadians. Ali Hamadia.
Yeah, Hamadia. Yeah,
he is so strong. His left is insanely strong. He could
his left's good. Yeah, he beat
If
Artem in Florida last year. Yeah. Yeah, that qualifier. I got to run that East versus West qualifier, so I was pretty proud of that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, we had a few. Leia Cornerson, she went and she got 2 golds, I think, or at least one anyway. She was there for our female arm wrestling.
That's awesome.
And then Victor got a second place. Dustin Houghton got a second place. That Dylan Wallace, I guess, won. And I think he won both arms, Dylan.
Nice. Right on.
Yeah. So, you know, we had our Byron went, he got 4th and 5th or something at the qualifiers. So, yeah. Yeah. No, I know. And you know what? It's unfortunate, but I don't know what's going on with the East versus West qualifiers this year. So, there hasn't been an announcement. So,
No,
it'd
I
be
know.
nice to hold
I know
them.
there has been some East versus West qualifiers like overseas,
Yeah.
Georgia and all those places. I think England is all the way out there, so it's a lot easier for him to do something like that out there. But you know what? At least the East versus West competitions, he's starting to do some in the US. Like the one in Florida was a banger, and he's after seeing that, I'm sure it's going to come back to the US.
Well, they're talking about even Canada. They're talking about even having one in like Calgary, at like Edmonton, Toronto. Yeah, like because Robert Baxter bought like a huge portion of East versus West, right? So I know that we ran the qualifiers. James Reed and Paul Lynn helped organize last year. That's who I worked with last year to run the qualifiers. And I know this year they don't know nothing because I've been talking to James and he says he got no info on it. So imagine we might miss it for 1 year. I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, I like them. I think it gives us our guys an opportunity to go to Florida for a main qualifier, and then like people get noticed. I mean, Victor was actually down there with you guys last a couple weeks ago. He's a killer. Yeah, Victor's part of our club too. He's a Red Deer Club member too. Victor.
Nice. No, Victor's a very, very good puller.
Yeah.
A very, very smart puller too.
Yeah, he is. Whenever he tells me something, I listen to him pretty seriously, actually. Yeah, he's a good teammate.
He's Russian, eh?
Yeah, he's Russian, but he's got a Canadian citizenship.
No, I just mean Russians are just naturally fucking crazy and strong. So
I know.
I wouldn't fuck around with him. I'd listen to everything he says.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Well, actually, he beat me in an overall last summer, and it was funny because I'm like, oh, I got this guy. I'm grip up. I'm like, this is nothing. And then before I knew it, he had everything. And he disabled me. And I was like, it was like one of the first times I just couldn't access any strength. And he beat me. And I was like, wow, Victor. Like, you know what I mean?
So have you ever pulled Tyler Bowles and
no, but he looks strong though. That's Tyler the guy that Victor pulled.
Left. Yes. Yeah. So Tyler's left is insanely strong. And I thought he was gonna run right over Victor, but Victor put up a war. I couldn't believe it.
He won the first round.
Yeah, he did, yeah. So I just know the level of Victor's left hand now. Victor would probably beat my left. My left is nowhere near my right, but yeah, my left would definitely be a problem.
I think he's mainly right, but he's almost close with his left. Like his left's good too. Yeah. But his right's even better, I think. Yeah.
I've pulled him right, I think, twice so far. And yeah, no, he's a very good puller for sure.
He's good in the setup. That's what I'm trying to learn from him is the setup, feeling, and you know what I mean? Trying to get that edge in this, because that's been my level up this year, was like saying, listen, you can't just take mediocre grips and think your power is just going to win all the time, right? No. For a long time, that's how I pulled, right? Then I would lose to, the second I start pulling a little bit higher of an elite puller, the thing I noticed is that I was fucking losing everything in the setup, and they took everything away from me. And I was like, I can't access my strength now, right? So now all I give a fuck about is winning, getting what I want in the setup. And I haven't been losing since I started focusing that. I've been winning all my matches. So
I agree. The setup is definitely a huge portion of the match. Mostly for myself being so like aggressive. That's my go-to, being aggressive and trying to hit first. I'd say the setup is 50% of how the match will go. Because if I have a bad setup, I'm kind of screwed. If I'm there in the setup, then I can get my position first. And so, if you have a bad setup, you're in for a bad day for sure.
Yeah. Well, I had a rude awakening because I actually lost to John Thompson recently, and I've never lost a super match. I was undefeated in super matches at the time, and I was way stronger than him, but I guess I just underestimated him. I looked at him. I'm like, there's no way this guy can beat me. Right? Went to the table. I didn't have a good. Yeah, it was a fucking right hand. Yeah, no, it
Oh,
wasn't
that's
even his
bad.
good
That's
hand. It wasn't
terrible.
even his
That's
good.
terrible.
Yeah, but he has gotten stronger of late, so I'll tell you that.
Yes. Oh yeah.
But no, he fucking beat me so bad. This is when I really it helped me though. I'm glad. I'm still grateful, even though I was embarrassed. I'm grateful because he beat me so bad in the setup. And I was just like, he was doing he called it the exploding hand shit or whatever he calls it.
He has a big hand. It's very hard
Yeah,
to
but he
throw.
shocked me with his hand too. So that's what I think blew me away. But
Mhm.
yeah, I lost to him. So anyway, it is, I haven't
You
lost
shouldn't
to
tell
anyone
that to
since.
people that you lost to his right
I know
hand.
to his right. I know. But at the same time, he has, you know what? I'll give him credit though. He did well in the tournament as well, right? Actually, and
Mhm.
he beat a few big, strong guys like other than me at that tournament. So actually, John, I think he had that big win on Passmore too recently on the left,
Yes,
and I
that,
think
that was
he's like ranked like pretty high now on the left
yeah, that
in
was
North
in
America.
Kentucky. I was there for that match. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
looking very, very good, like very comfortable, and yeah, he was
yeah,
strong as shit.
yeah. Well,
I haven't.
he's been focusing his arm wrestling more than all that other social media shit now, right? And I
Yeah, we
think
don't. He moved back to the States, and
Minnesota.
yeah,
Well,
like what amazes me more about John is like he has crazy back problems,
He
and
does really
a
bad.
normal person would be at home crying
Yeah,
all day because of the pain, and that guy goes up and he's a freaking decent arm wrestler with
yeah,
all that pain. I don't know how he does it, so yeah, props
yeah,
to him.
yeah.
I
Me
do
too.
not try.
I agree because he's in a lot of pain. I mean,
Mm,
he explained some of it to me, and the fact that he can still train and arm wrestle
it's
and he,
crazy.
it's amazing. And you know what? He has gotten a lot better too. I mean, you know what?
Mm.
I guess me letting the cat out of the bag. If you pull him right-handed, he's going to be pretty good right now too, because he's actually
Oh yeah, I
got
believe it.
stronger on both arms. Like he's
Mm.
definitely improved. But